points by the True Value Modified Racing Series here at the Big T. Kirk Alexander and Richard Savory in the front row. Savory yet to visit victory lane here at 06. Alexander on the point. He has got 4 wins to his credit here. And of course, this race today is the race he'd like to have because it is a north-south shootout for that big event coming up in Concord, North Carolina in November. John Spence throws the green flag into the air, and we are racing 75 laps of competition here on Modified Mania weekend.
Kirk Alexander gets the jump as they go to turn 2 for the first time. Top 4 cars now begin to single out. Savory in the outside lane. He takes the lead as they go to turn 3 for the first time.
Talked with Alexander yesterday, Kyle. He said he felt really confident about his race car. If anybody jumped on the lead, he was just going to sit back and sit there for a while and see how things pan out.
He'll slide into that second spot as they hit the back straightaway, ably beginning to slide back just a bit. Car number 32, one of the youngest competitors out on the Speedway, qualified well yesterday, won his heat race, and now is among the top 5, just ahead of the 70 of Sights.
Andy Sice, he finished in a strong second yesterday to Kirk Alexander. He runs in the number 5 spot. First time he's ever competed here at the Thompson International Speedway. He's got Jimmy Kuhn trying to reel him in, the former Wheel and Modified Tour competitor. He is second in the point standings here in 06.
Around down to complete lap number 3 as the field is strung out now at the point. Savory pulling away right now from second place Alexander in that runner-up spot, followed by the 82 next in line for Bergman.
I had a stopwatch on Savory yesterday, Kyle. He was extremely quick, so the fact that he's jumped out here so early on and got himself a big lead really does not come as much of a surprise.
Long race though, 75 the total distance for the True Value Modified Series. Anything can happen as Savory leads by about 5 car lengths over Alexander, and then Dave Bergman in that 3rd spot. A good battle from 4th on back, ably Sice. And the 72 of Jimmy Q knows how to get around the Thompson Speedway. He's in among that lead pack.
And right behind him, you got Jack Bateman and Les Hinckley battling it out for the number 7 spot. Kevin Konopka coming up, trying to get into the dance as they work into turn number 3. Here's Hinckley going to the outside of Jack Bateman. Those 2 guys, both winners this year in the Canyon Fair Motorsports Complex up in the Granite State of New Hampshire. They go nose to tail now in the turn number 1.
Jack Bateman, the red number 17. Les Hinckley, the yellow 66 to the bottom, to the back straight away into turn number 3. They are side by side, Hinckley and Bateman.
And Demers now races to the inside of Daley Monchi.
Good 3-way battle. Just ahead of that side by side battle, Demers and Thompson off of turn number 2.
Just ahead of that, Kyle Hinckley has made his way by Jack Bateman, and so has Kevin Konopka. So they move up a couple of rungs on the ladder here as they work down the front straightaway. But right now, Richard Savory, he's been the class of the field here with plenty of horsepower, getting through the corners quick, and jumping off the corners here on the 5/8 mile at Thompson International Speedway.
Has plenty of modified experience here at Thompson. Has run the Pro 4 Modifieds, the Sunoco Modifieds, the Wheeling Modifieds, and now a True Value Modified. Leads to the backstretch over Alexander, still in that 2nd spot. The top 2 have been able to break away quite a bit, about a half a straightaway from 3rd place Bergman, and that battle for 4th rages on. Abley in the 32 and Sice in the 70.
Sice is staying right there with Abley. Got to be impressed with Abley, the Connecticut Defender, sponsor number 32. A heat win yesterday, and right now he's got himself a good, strong top 5 running here with Andy Sice and Jimmy Kuhn in pursuit.
Jimmy Kuhn in the 72. Hinckley will follow in the 06. Jack Bateman has faded just a bit in the 17 as he was overhauled just a lap ago by the 50 of Konopka.
That time, Bucky Demers in the 10X car, loose off the 4th corner, did a nice job to save his racer as he exited that turn to make his way down the front straightaway as he tries to reel in Jack Bateman and contest with him. But meanwhile, down here in the front straightaway, Kirk Alexander appears to be closing.
Oh, trouble up in turn 2. One car has spun. It's a solo spin, and the caution will fly.
That looks like it's the Eric Leclerc racer as the caution comes out here for the first time in this event here. I believe that's what, on lap number 12.
12 laps in of the 75 to be run. Eric Leclerc, one of the local competitors here at the Speedway, and is taking part in this, the True Value Modified Series feature event this weekend. A solo spin, was able to keep it off the wall, and now has fired that car back up.
some 33 years now. John Spence calls him out of the corner here. The ground pounding modifieds. We call them Rolling Thunder on the True Value Modified Tour. And they thunder down into turn number 1 as Richard Savory takes the field through the number 1 and 2 turns. Off the corner, Alexander's going right after him.
Back to the back straightaway. Alexander right there in second, side by side. 3 rows deep behind him from third on back. Bergman and Abley locked side by side, and nerf bar to nerf bar for that third spot, and Abley gets the advantage in the outside lane as they go to turn 2 for third.
Andy Seiss and Konopka go wheel to wheel out of the number 2 corner. They chase down Bergman, and look at Kuhn now coming alive on the outside as he comes right up alongside Bergman as they power off turn number 4. Kuhn may steal the spot.
Kuhn in car number 72, second in points, looking to gain some here this afternoon, up into the top 5 and back 4th. Moving around Dave Bergman a half a lap ago. Top 5, single file. Seiss now side by side with Konopka for that 6th spot. Les Hinckley is right there in the 06 as well.
And Bucky DeMers again. He's fighting an ill-handling car coming off turn number 4. He danced a little bit right in front of Jack Bateman, but he saved his racer, and he's trying to stay within striking distance of Les Hinckley as they blast down the back chute.
Bateman, the final car in that lead group down the back straightaway, about 10 cars strong as they go through turns 3, off turn 4 to the stripe for Savory. Trouble back straightaway. 3 cars get tangled up and will go spinning to the infield. The 47 for Tony Patinelli. We get that right. And Patinelli goes spinning to the backstretch.
I stand corrected. It's number 5. We saw the green-colored car. That's Brian Shumway, the rookie from Belchertown, Massachusetts. In car number 43, Abley Kuhn right behind him in the second row. Here's the green flag back in the air. Alexander's trying to, it's a drag race in the turn number 1. Kyle Alexander and the number 21 side by side.
They get the advantage in an outside lane. Savory to the bottom. Alexander up high, side by side for the lead down in turn 3 with Jimmy Kuhn and Les Hinckley. 3rd and 4th, and a nice save by Dave Bergman a moment ago. Had that car sideways over in turn number 3. We'll hang on to it, but we'll drop outside of the top 5.
Good side-by-side racing down the front straightaway. Kuhn's got a good third going here, but look at the stuff that's going on behind Louis Michelitis. Bergman to the outside of Abley now, and the veteran comes right up behind the lightning Lou Michelitis in car number 40. He's pressuring him off turn number 4.
Caution is out for Joe Doucette, slow on the back straightaway, the 55 car. Did not come up to speed on the last restart. And also Seiss back in on pit road, so he'll take this opportunity to dive onto the pit lane under the caution flag here once again.
Great guy. And last year, Dwight Jarvis was the initial recipient. All righty, here's the green flag back in the air as the True Value Modified Series goes back to work here and powers into turn number 1. Richard Savory's going to take him down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Savory gets the jump. Alexander will have to fall on the second on this restart as we have a couple of cars spun over in turn number 1 again.
And again, it looks like it's the back end of the field here. It's, is that the 7 car again?
Maybe Leclerc once again.
He's sitting up the top of the first corner.
It is?
Yeah, and he's having, that's Jeremy Lilly in the number 3 car.
Right again, this time it's Savory to break away from the rest of the field as they go to turn 1. Kuhn to the inside of Alexander for second.
That's a good battle coming off turn number 2 for the number 2 spot, and the 72 car moves into that number 2 position. Here's Hinckley now as he challenges with the number 40 Michelitis. Abley's going to go to the outside of Michelitis. We got a 4-car battle coming off 4 right behind Les Hinckley.
And Jimmy Kuhn had a sniff at the race lead there for a moment, had a look to the inside of Richard Savory. He'll tuck back in the line in second. Alexander back to 3rd, Les Hinckley in 4th, side by side, further back for the 5th spot. Give its position to Abley.
And Dave Bergman wants back into the dance. He comes right up behind Abley to the outside of Michelitis. Good race there, and Bergman moves by the number 40 right on the back end of Abley going into 1.
Michelitis falls back in the line in about the 7th spot. Top 6 cars break away, and car up into the outside wall in turn number 1. That'll put us under the caution flag.
That'll be Ken Vogel Jr. from Ronkonkoma, Long Island, New York, and Meads Welding, Brian's Auto Body J and Performance Cavalier up against the concrete in the first corner, bringing out yet another yellow flag as the pace is slowed once again here in this 75-lap race for the True Value Modified Racing Series.
And Vogel, the only car involved up in turn number 1. Not sure if something broke or if the car just broke loose.
All right, Speedway is clear. Caution lights are out. John Spence ready to wave that field off of turn number 4. And we're going to have some rolling thunder down the front straightaway. Here we go. Savory and Kuhn nose to tail into 1.
It is Savory at the point. Kuhn in second. Hinckley to the outside of Alexander for that third spot. Bergman to round out the top five as they roll into turn three, followed by Abley in car number 32.
Les Hinckley strong off turn number 4, right behind Kuhn as they go by Alexander, as Dave Bergman waltzes by him out here in the front straightaway, and Bergman's going to move into the 4th spot, as it appears right now that Alexander is fading, although he holds on to the number 5 spot, races in front of Tom Abley.
They'll get single file back to the corner. Tom Abley right now in that 6th position. Top 5 cars all strung out, and again, Savory pulling away now by 6 car lengths already over Jimmy Kuhn in that 2nd spot. He's under attack by Les Hinckley. Car sideways further back in the field. That's the 35 of Avanson.
Gibbs Dale Evanson goes around in the bottom of the number 2 corner, and it sets off a chain reaction right behind him. Once again, the number 7 car, Leclerc, is involved on the 2nd corner as Evanson went around in the Teddy Bear Pools number 35. Tough break for him, the winner at Beach Ridge Motor Speedway this year, his first career win in a modified. Happened a few weeks ago at the Scarborough Main Speedway. And
we're set to go back under the green flag. Savory and Kuhn at the point.
Rolling thunder down the front straightaway as Kuhn works the outside. Look at Bergman right up alongside Hinckley now as they're a 4-car battle going through that 1st and 2nd turn. On the throttle, down the back straightaway. It's a drag race. We may have a new leader here, Kyle.
And Jimmy Kuhn in that outside lane. Savory down low, top 2 rows. They'll bounce off each other off the corner. Contact on the front stretch. 1 car right up onto the wall. It's Bergman.
Oh, man, look at this. Johnny Bush around contact there. It's like a pinball machine out here on the front straightaway. It was a mad scramble coming off the 4th corner, and what a tough break for Dave Bergman in car number 82. Look at the back end of Johnny Bush's number 68X. Done for the afternoon.
And he's able to pull that car away, believe it or not, as he had Dave Bergman on the left rear corner of that car. Good portion of the front straightaway. Bergman's car coming to rest here at the start-finish line, just at the starter's stand.
Someone broke loose over there in the 4th.
Kuhn at the point, over Les Hinckley in 2nd.
With Kirk Alexander running in the 3rd spot here, trying to stay right with Hinckley. Off the corner, Abley is in the 4th position, and Lightning Lou Michelitas, he'll run 5th in car number 40.
Michelitas having a good run in the top 5. Jack Bateman in that 6th spot, followed by Dwight Jarvis. Here's challenge for the lead. Hinckley had a look to the inside off turn 4 on Jimmy Kuhn at the point. Will fall back into line. Alexander right there in 3rd, and they're beginning to break away from Abley just a bit, who rides 4th.
Hinckley is strong right now, stays about a car length down the back straightaway behind the race leader, comes right up behind him off of turn number 4, and again, about a car length down the front straightaway behind the race leader, number 72.
Back to turn number 2, Michelitis in that 5th spot, followed by Bateman, point leader Jarvis, and Wenzel. That's the front half of the field off the corner, back down to the line, and again, right to the apron and nearly the grass for Les Hinckley. Had a look to the inside. He'll do it again in turn 2.
We had him at 19.7 here. Look at the battle out of turn number 2 there as Hinckley took another peek off of the bottom of the number 2 corner. But the number 72 Kuhn able to stave him off as they went down that back straightaway.
Hinckley going a little higher through turns 3 and 4, maybe trying to get a run down the front straightaway on race leader Jimmy Kuhn. Can't make it work. Will fall back into line. Single file. Alexander there in 3rd. Then a distance about 4 car lengths back to Abley in that 4th spot.
You've got a batch of veteran racers here over the top 6, 7 positions, and you've got a kid from Norwalk, Connecticut, sandwiched right in between them in car number 32. Here's Hinckley now, the pride of Windsor Locks, Connecticut, going at it for the lead with West Bridgewater, Massachusetts driver Jimmy Kuhn, but Kuhn holds them off.
Yeah, that outside lane working well right now for car number 72, Jimmy Kuhn. Hinckley can't get the bite he's looking for on the bottom or the momentum. Rides in 2nd, Alexander in 3rd, and then that kid you mentioned a moment ago, Tom Abley, the 17-year-old, grew up go-karts, Tri-State Kart Club at the Pomfret Speedway for a couple of seasons a few years ago, running in 4th in his 2nd season in the True Value Modified Series.
Kirk Alexander may be getting the green flag laps that he was looking for because he's right there watching it all from the number 43 as Hinckley's going to wrestle away the lead here and become the 3rd different leader in this 75-lap feature.
New leader down the backstretch. Les Hinckley takes the top spot away from Jimmy Kuhn in 2nd. lead trio at the front of the field, joined by Kirk Alexander. A couple of cars tangle in turn number 2, and that'll put us under the caution.
That's going to be the youngsters again, Brian Shumway in car number 5, and maybe Jeremy Lilly in the number 3. And Shumway under his own power, rolling along under his own power in car number 5, ready to rejoin the action, I would assume.
The lead under the last restart. Alexander in 3rd, Abley in 4th, and the green flag from the starter stand.
Doucette and Wheeler leave the pit area, join the field at the back end, but up the front it is into turn number 1 with Jimmy Kuhn on top of the field as they work off the second corner and sprint down that back straightaway. Look at Alexander trying to reel in Hinckley. He makes a move to the inside. He wants that second spot.
And the last restart had Hinckley going to the front. Now it's Alexander trying to move around Hinckley for the second position as Jimmy Kuhn races away by about 2 car lengths to turn number 2.
We call it rolling thunder, Kyle, but with his thunder, there's lightning. And there's Lewis Lightning Michelitis right there trying to chase down the inside of Abley on the back straightaway. He is contesting for the number 4 spot as Abley goes high. Alexander right on Hinckley down the front chute.
And Michelitis has Jack Bateman to worry about. Bateman right now in the 6th spot, wants to move the 17 car into the top 5. Michelitis in that 5th position. Bateman in 6th, Dwight Jarvis, next car in line, he's 7th.
And right behind him is Rob Goodenough, Andy Seiss, and Chris Wenzel. When it's green, it's good. And it's good racing down the front straightaway. Alexander's trying to stay with Hinckley going into 1. Hinckley right up behind the race leader, Jimmy Kuhn, as they power off of turn number 2. Hinckley looked for a run off the second corner, didn't get it. Kuhn is able to keep him at bay, a car length on the back straightaway.
Andy Seiss has had to come back up through the field in car number 70. He is back in the top 10. Richard Savory in the 21, not too far behind. He also continues his climb through the field. He's in a race right now with Chris Wenzel.
Michelitis fades back a little bit here. Bateman behind him and Dwight Jarvis right behind him. Here's Hinckley making a move to the inside going into turn number 3. Is he going to get a good run off turn number 4? No. It's going to be Kuhn leading a lap down the front straightaway. Number 31 goes on the board.
Back to turn number 2. The top 3 cars once again begin to break away. And a good run this time by Hinckley off of turn number 2. But can he make it stick through turns 3 and 4? Kuhn so strong in that outside lane.
He's got a great run coming off turn number 4 to the inside, but so does Kuhn, and Kuhn hangs on, leads lap 32. Here comes Kirk Alexander, the defending champion, right up behind Hinckley. He's going to try the outside, and they race strong off turn number 2.
And Alexander will fall back into line, a car length behind Hinckley. Best seat in the house, Tom Abley Jr. in that 4th spot, really having a good view of the top 3, dicing it up for the lead. 33 laps complete. It's Jimmy Kuhn back to turn 1.
He's watching it all as they work into that first turn. Off the second turn, they manage those throttles down the back straightaway. A car length separates Hinckley and Alexander. Here they are off of turn number 4. Hinckley right on the back end of the 72.
They'll get single file further back. Battle for the 5th spot. Michelitis slides up high, opens the door for Jack Bateman. Bateman had a look to the inside through turn number 2. Fell back in the line. Jarvis is there as well, but things again getting racy at the point. Hinckley all over the back bumper of the race leader, Jimmy Kuhn, and there's Alexander. He wants 2nd.
Thompson Speedway fans throw an eye back to about the number 28 car because the number 21, Richard Savory, just went by. Dwight Jarvis, keep an eye on Savory. He's working to get back to the front. He went all the way to the tail end, and he's right up behind Jack Bateman in the white number 21 car.
Savory right there. Bateman in the 6th position as they go to turn number 2, and Savory up to 7th. Moved around Seiss a couple of laps ago. It was Seiss that was making his way up through the field not too long ago, and Savory bypassed him. Now works on Bateman halfway home in this True Value Modified feature event.
Jimmy Kuhn takes the field into the corner. Savory right up behind Jack Bateman. Could we have something magical happening here for the Canton, Massachusetts second-generation driver? Right there with Bateman as they go down the back straightaway. The leaders work off of turn number 4, and Kuhn still sits atop the field here, and Alexander's right there with Hinckley.
Bateman slides up high, give another spot to Richard Savory. One step closer to the front of the field and where he was about 15 laps ago. Now closes in on Michelitis on the back straightaway for that 5th spot.
Alexander right with Hinckley off the number 4 corner, nose to tail down the front straightaway. Here goes Savory, got by Bateman. Now he's going after Michelitis here as they work into the number 1 corner. Keep an eye, fans, on car number 21. He's going to try the inside of the number 40.
That's the race for the 5th position on the Speedway. Richard Savory back in the top 5. Moving around Michelitis off of turn number 4. Michelitis back into the 6th position. Bateman 7th. Jarvis stays in 8th.
Savory's got his focus on the back of the number 32 car, the Connecticut Defenders entry for Tom Abley Jr., trying to reel him in as they work into turn number 3. But we've got a hotly contested race here. When it's green, it is good. And it is real good here. Kuhn, Hinckley, and Alexander continue to dice on the big T off of turn number 2.
And Hinckley again trying to get a run in that outside lane on race leader Jimmy Kuhn. Meanwhile, he has to worry about Alexander right behind him. Kirk looking for the 2nd spot off turn 4.
I don't think it's going to be all that much longer, Kyle, before they're dealing with Richard Savory, because he has reeled in Tom Abley here off the corner. He is going after him on the back straightaway. That car is handling well. It's extremely fast, and he's getting good jump off the turns.
Tom Abley Jr., car number 32, Savory in the 21, and here's the race for the 4th spot. To the inside, Savory to the outside. Abley, Savory down low. Side by side, doesn't last very long.
It does not, and Savory's able to move into the 4th spot. As we said, suddenly Alexander and Hinckley are going to be dealing with the Superior Oil number 21, because Savory's reeling them in.
Lap traffic just ahead may play a factor as Jimmy Kuhn leads. Hinckley, little bumper tag there off of turn number 2. That's how close they were. Alexander in 3rd, and Savory within now 3 car lengths of the top 3.
And the leaders come down the front straightaway, quickly closing on the back end of the field here as the slower cars dot the 2nd turn, and the leaders are looking at him off the turn. Here's Hinckley now to the inside. A drag race between Hinckley and the number 72, Jimmy Kuhn. Is Hinckley going to get the number 1 spot? Alexander watches from the 3rd spot, and Savory's right behind him. Down the front straightaway, Kuhn holds on to the number 1 position.
Yeah, we've seen this story lap after lap over and over again in this feature event, where the outside lane with Jimmy Kuhn is so strong and is once again able to hold off Les Hinckley, who was all the way up alongside a lap ago. But it's that outside lane and Jimmy Kuhn that is able. Oh, trouble! The race leader goes around, and lap traffic was tapped off turn 4, and Kuhn slides to the infield. He's able to keep going. We'll stay under the green flag.
What a tough break for Jimmy Kuhn, as he contested for the lead with Hinckley, and the yellow flag is going to come over the Speedway.
Caution comes out, 47 laps complete, 75 the distance, and Jimmy Kuhn, while leading the event and trying to race in and around some lap traffic as the race leader. Alexander there in 2nd, Savory in 3rd, and they'll break away from Abley and Michelitis for the 4th spot.
Boy, Alexander, oops, we had the number 20 car, Rusty Ball, loose down the front straightaway. But down the back straightaway, you've got Alexander in hot pursuit of Hinckley, and Richard Savory's along for the ride in car number 21. Here's Michelitis and Tom Abley Jr. They're battling for the number 4 spot. Lightning Lou trying to steal the spot.
Little contact at the front of the field, and they're side by side for the lead as they go to the corner. They'll break loose through turn number 2, but everybody's okay somehow, some way. They'll continue down the back straightaway with Hinckley at the point. Alexander got loose. He'll lose 2nd to Savory.
That looked like dirt track action over there in the 1st and 2nd quarters between Hinckley and Alexander. And you're right, somehow they were able to hang on to their race cars. Savory goes to the 2nd spot. Look at Kuhn down at the back end of the field as he's starting to pick off the slower cars and try to get back to the front here in car number 72. Michelitis is 4th. Bateman is 5th. 6th is Abley. 7th is Dwight Jarvis. Wenzel and Goodenough are racing door to door out of the 4th turn, and they are racing for the 8th spot.
And Wenzel will get that spot. Rob Goodenough back to the 9th position as the front of the field really tightened up there a lap and a half or so ago. Top 3 cars still breaking away from everybody else, led this time by Les Hinckley. Savory is 2nd. In 3rd, the 43 of Kirk Alexander, and Michelitis to round out the front 4 with Bateman in 5th.
I'll tell you, side-by-side racing is nothing strange to both Hinckley and Alexander. They've done it for years in New Hampshire in pro stock competition at Monadnock and at the former Claremont Speedway. So to go side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel like that, nothing strange to those two.
Dwight Jarvis looking to gain a spot, the current point leader. So consistent this 2006 season, is among the top 10. Looking to gain the 6th spot on Tom Abley Jr. Abley in the 32, Jarvis in the 28.
Hinckley, Savory, and Alexander run away and hide from everybody else at this point, but you've got some good racing going on behind them as Bateman, Abley, Jarvis, and Wenzel will all cluster together down the front straightaway.
Yeah, it's become a 5-car race 4 position led by Michelitis on the back straightaway. Bateman in second. Wenzel comes into contact with the 28 of Jarvis. They're okay off of turn number 2 as Jarvis hangs in there in about the 7th position.
Leaders work into turn number 1. Hinckley goes to the high side. Savory goes with him. Squares up coming off turn number 2.
Oh, trouble front straightaway. The 68 of Bush here on the front stretch goes around. And everybody's able to avoid. But Johnny Bush, second incident, in about the exact same spot as the first.
Absolutely, and I declared him to be done for the afternoon. His crew was able to get him back out there, and you're right, it's right exactly where he was the first in the road and formed the True Value Modified Racing Series. Here they come, the green flag is back in the air, and we go back to racing at the Big T.
And Dwight Jarvis gets to jump on the restart. He and Abley are side by side for the 6th position as the top 5 cars go single file to the back straightaway. Bateman in that 5th spot, Jarvis in 6th, Abley in the outside in 7th. But it's Hinckley at the point off turn 4 with Savory right there in 2nd.
He certainly is. And look at Jarvis and Abley side by side behind Bateman in front of Wenzel as they work into that number 1 corner. Who's going to have the line coming out of turn number 2? Abley on the high side on the back chute as Jarvis continues to pressure on the bottom going into turn number 3.
Savory's passed everybody on the Speedway except for 1 car, and it's ahead of him right now, the 06 race leader, Les Hinckley, to turn number 2. Out for trouble in turn 1 and a hard hit to the outside wall. Chris Wenzel in turn number 1. One other car involved, and that may be the point leader.
It is. Dwight Jarvis is also involved over there in car number 28. A tough break for them as they were all battling in that cluster of cars out here on the front straightaway.
And a red flag displayed from the starter stand as the safety crew will race to the scene in turn 1.
Back to action not until this weekend.
Said and done. Green flag from the starter stand. We're back underway.
And Michelitis running behind Alexander as they come by the green flag indicator from the flag stand. Here's Alexander now trying to sprint underneath, and he's going to move into the 2nd spot. He's snookered Savory, and he goes to 2nd.
Yeah, not many people have passed the 21 car here this afternoon. Alexander takes the 2nd spot. Here's Michelitis to the inside for 3rd. They're side by side at the line.
You wonder what's going on with Savory. He's not getting up to the speed that he was at as Michelitis here is pressuring him again, but now he's going to move into that 3rd spot. Here comes Alexander alive now in car number 43. He is going to race for the lead here through the 3rd turn.
And Hinckley drifts way up the Speedway, opens a big hole to the inside for Alexander, and he'll take the spot away with ease by the time they get back to the flag stand. New race leader, Kirk Alexander at the point, Hinckley in 2nd, Savory in 3rd, Michelitis in 4th.
And look who is in 5th spot, Kyle. It is Jimmy Kuhn in car number 72. What does he have for the leaders?
Plenty of time left, and just like Savory made his way up through the field among the top 5 and wants more. Side by side for 4th. Michelitis to the outside lane. Kuhn down low. Move Jimmy Kuhn up to the Thompson Speedway leaderboard in 4th.
Yogi once said it ain't over till it's over, and I don't think this one's over yet. Kuhn, and he is going right after Savory. Question is, do they have anything for Hinckley and Alexander? 5th spot is Michelitis, 6th is Bateman, 7th is Abley, 8th is the 01 Goodenough, 9th is Scythe, and 10th is the Royce car in the number 79.
Right now, Savory having a tough time keeping that car on the bottom of the Speedway because here comes Jimmy Kuhn to the bottom. Kuhn to 3rd, Savory to 4th. The question is, did Savory use everything up coming back up through the field? Jimmy Kuhn made it look easy off turn 4 a lap ago.
Very good point, and I think you're right. Kuhn now trying to reel in the 06 as he continues to go at it with Kirk Alexander, the defending champion.
Hinckley right there in the 2nd spot, nearly glued together by the time they get to turn 2. Let's see how fast Jimmy Kuhn can close in, if he can close in 3rd. Savory 4th, Michelitis in the 5th spot. Jack Bateman in 6th, Abley in 7th, Seiss is back up to 8th. That's the front half of the field.
You can see Savory pushing up.
Oh, trouble at turn 2.
That looks like it might be again. This is Bruce Batchelder, car number 77. The veteran racer, we haven't seen or heard much about him all afternoon long, kind of just out there racing in the middle of the pack, and deep in the field as well this afternoon, not having a good run.
Xander and Hinckley at the point. There's the 72, Jimmy Kuhn right there in third.
John Spence waves the green here as they come off the fourth corner. Look at Michelitis and Savory now. Michelitis is going to try to steal that spot as Savory get a little loose going into the corner. Here's Michelitis fighting back strong on the inside as they come off turn number 2, Bateman in tow.
Savory having a tough time getting a handle on that race car. Michelitis to the inside. Savory again slides up high. Bateman is right there. Seiss is right there as well in the 70, along with the 32 of Tom Abley Jr.
Here comes Jimmy Kuhn to the bottom of turn number 1, wheel to wheel with Hinckley off of 2. Now he's going to go after Alexander. Down the back straightaway they go. Kirk Alexander, Jimmy Kuhn, Les Hinckley, Louis Michelitis, and the number 21 Savory fights for the number 4 spot back.
The story of the mid stages of this race, the 21 of Savory coming to the front. He's now sliding back. The story late in the race, the 72 having to come from the rear of the field. He's back up to second. Does he have anything left for our race leader, Kirk Alexander, in the 43 car?
Andy Seiss races to the inside of Jack Bateman going into turn number 3. The kid and the old boy on the outside in car number 17. And Seiss moves by in the Rockingham boat number 70.
That's the second pack of cars well behind the race leaders. Seiss just outside of the top 5 in 6th. And all over the 21 of Richard Savory.
Alrighty, 10 laps to go is the word from the flag stand. 10 more to go, 65 into the books. As Kuhn will try to reel in Kirk Alexander. Alexander trying to represent the Thompson Speedway at the North-South Shootout at Concord.
He leads by 5 car lengths down into turn 3. Kuhn unable to make any headway in that second spot. Hinckley in third, all by himself in fourth. Michelitis and side by side for fifth. Seiss to the inside of the 21 of Savory, who continues to backslide.
That's a good battle going on there, Kyle, as Seiss will win out as they exit the second corner. Bateman now, he's going to try to get up there and skate along into turn number 3 with Savory. Savory's able to hold on to the spot, but here comes Bateman to the inside out of turn number 4. Abley's right behind him down the front straightaway.
Should make mention, Dwight Jarvis still on the speedway, car number 28, trying to come back up through the field after his incident with Wenzel. Shelley Perry, Thompson regular, also still out on the speedway in car number 76 and running well.
That's a good sign. The point leader still in the event. Nothing done in the way of damage to the car where it forced him out of this event, and he's able to stay on the speedway. Probably cut a tire and nothing more than that, and they're back on the track. Here is Jack Bateman slowing dramatically out here on the front straightaway, and it looks like the 61-year-old veteran is going to go to the pit area in car number 17.
Yeah, something broke on that car off turn 4. He was motioning everybody by to the high side here on the front straightaway, a half a lap to go. That car hoping to get it back around onto pit road as the leaders on the back straightaway into turn 3, laps winding down. 5 laps to go this time for Alexander.
And Jimmy Kuhn trying to find all the horsepower he can. He's got his foot right through the board on the front straightaway here as he's trying to reel in Kirk Alexander off the number 2 turn here as they go down the back straightaway. Hinckley distantly back in third. Michelitis and Seiss the top 5. Abley and Savory battle wheel to wheel out of turn number 2. Alexander continues to be the number 1 position.
Yeah, 2 of the young guns in modified racing. Savory up high. Tom Abley Jr. down low. The 32 and the 21 joined by the 79 of Dave Royce. Had to put that car back together after an incident in practice yesterday. Royce now among the top 10, and here's Dwight Jarvis making some more spots on the back straightaway and gaining some more points in car 28.
And right ahead of him, Abley races strong on the inside of Savory. David Royce on the outside as they go wheel to wheel down that long front chute. And down the back straightaway, the leaders work into the number 3 turn. Alexander and Jimmy Kuhn. Alexander wanted this one here today. He wants to represent the True Value Modified Series and the Thompson Speedway at the big race in November down in Concord, the North-South Shootout. He said that in Victory Lane a few weeks ago at Monadnock. Jimmy Kuhn, he wants...
Oh, trouble. Savory goes around in turn number 2. The 21 snaps sideways over in the number 2 corner, and the caution flag comes out.
Well, you wonder if the right rear may have just let go on that number 21 car. Looks like the left rear is down. Yeah, left is down on the number 20 end here. And a tough break for him.
We're in for quite the shootout now. We
start two to cover to finish the 75-lap race here. Kirk Alexander sits atop the field. Green flag is back in the air. And down the front straightaway, Jimmy Kuhn. Let's see if he's got anything for Alexander. Kylie darts to the inside.
And they come together. Kuhn is out of shape. He'll lose the second spot and open it up for the race leader, Kirk Alexander.
Look at Dwight Jarvis. Oh, man, look at the scramble going on into turn number 3. Yellow flag is out.
And the entire field from about third on back seemingly involved up in turn number 3. Started right at the front. Michelitis got out of shape, came back up in front of a host of cars that were running 2 and 3 wide. Caution.
Wow.
And checkers being waved from the starter stand. Kirk Alexander handed the win here when Kuhn got out of shape off of turn number 2. Really stacked the field up and sent a lot of cars scrambling in turn number 3. And Alexander, car number 43, winner here this afternoon. We will hear from him trackside in just a moment. Jarvis comes across in the 28. Again, the order right now, all unofficial, as the scorers going to work on getting everyone in their proper finishing position. Going back to the last completed lap. And also trying to figure out who exactly were the accident cars. And it's Alexander down in victory lane, car number 43. Had to hold off the 72 of Jimmy Kuhn. And heading to victory lane here, the NASCAR Whelen Modifieds. They're on deck. The Race of Champions Modifieds will follow. Just getting warmed up for Modified Mania. Presented by Sunoco Race Fuels. John Holland in victory lane presenting Kirk Alexander with the Sunoco checkered flag in commemoration of his win. John Spence heading trackside as well to have a word with our race winner. Russ Dowd is down there. And we'll go to victory lane here momentarily. But it's Kirk Alexander. Wild one here for the True Value Modified Series, debuting inaugural visit to the Thompson International Speedway, part of Modified Mania. And we'll go trackside now. And the trophy presentation to Kirk Alexander. Let's go trackside. John Spence is down there.
All right, thank you very much, Kyle. Congratulations coming from the A-team down here in victory lane. The defending champion for the True Value Modified Racing Series comes up big here today at the Thompson Speedway. Lots of cautions. What went through your mind in this one? You slipped back a bit. You got back up to the front. Kuhn was all of a sudden there. Hinckley was there for a while. What was going through your mind through these long 75 laps?
Yeah, you know, it seemed long with all these cautions. It's not unusual for this series, but, you know, we just tried to hold on there. We got freight train. The outside groove seemed to have the momentum at the beginning when the tires are fresh, but, you know, we didn't want to get up there and grind and mess up the toe and stuff, you know, and we just took it easy, and it paid off in the end.
You told me in victory lane a couple of weeks ago at Monadnock you wanted that one. You wanted the Seacon show in July, and you wanted this one. You're going to Concord.
Yeah, that's another one we're going to try. I mean, last year we didn't really put our best foot forward there, but we're going down there, and hopefully, you know, we can pull off another win. There's some stiff competition down there, and just be competitive, and I'll be happy with that.
Sunoco checkered flag is in hands. How about a nice hand? Kirk Alexander, winner of the first ever race here for the True Value Modified Series at Thompson. Let's go back upstairs.